Good Friday morning, my friends. TGIF. What a wild, energetic week. It's been a while since there's been so many fun energies where it's like shooting up, shooting down, go round and round and round. A lot of people have been talking about that and how they can really support themselves in some of this challenging energy that's been going on. I'm not going to say it's going to get better next week. Actually, I think that the universe might take us a little bit more further and give you a good punt. Sunday, we're looking at Scorpio coming in. Tuesday, we're looking at a solar eclipse new moon. Know that you have tools to overcome these energetic pushes and pulls. Earlier this week, I posted a video. It was a healing, or was it a meditation? There's a fine line. For energetical protection. Use it as you need it, my friends, because I'm not sure how this next week is going to come forward. We're going to look into that. But know that energetic push and pull, it's there. It's a thing. It's real. And yeah, it's going to be there. And we'll just have to work with it. The more we resist, the harder it will be, because the more that you overtly try and push these energies away or put in and just try and deal with them or absorb them, because that's what a lot of us are doing, is that we're like energetical sponges, the harder it's going to be. So use your tools, use your wits, use your head. Make sure you've got that protection. After a hard day, dump the energy. If you don't know how to do that, I would suggest going into a bath or a shower. The water will naturally support you and get rid of that gunk, that yick. This past week, I did a session where we're looking at adding that element of protection. It was a meditation. On Monday, you guys are going to get early access to healing, a new moon healing, to help release, get rid of anger, frustration, that low vibrational gunkiness. Let's use these energies to our advantage, rather than trying to go, no. You know what? If the energies are helping you to release, let's get rid of stuff that isn't helping you. It may not be yours. So know that this week is not going to be easy peasy lemon squeezy. However, it is going to be a week of amazing results, should you put the work in. Now, for this week, I have brought in one of my favorite decks. This is the Chromatic Fates Tarot. I love it. I love the shine. I love the imagery. It's gorgeous. This one I haven't used in a while, this Oracle. This is the Oracle. It's called a Compendium of Witches. You don't need to be a witch or connect into that in any way. Just be open to the messages. It's right, that reflecting back. Very much telling you that, and I'm going to keep that up because that's an important card. The energies, what you put out, it's going to be mirrored back, looking into that reflection. There's a lot of things this week is going to offer us. And this deck, like I said, is not necessarily about witchcraft. It's just more those natural tools. Okay, it's a compendium. Back to this mirror. Like I just said, it's going to be an important card. That's why it jumped out. We need to be mindful of the energies that we are having on the inside, because as a natural occurrence, what energies we're working in inside is going to be mirrored back by others. That's a natural phenomenon. They treat us the way we're treating ourselves. So making sure we're mindful of that. And when we start to have that negativity inside, either we release it, we balance ourselves out, or we shift directions. whichever tool works best for you. Additionally, taking that time for self this week is going to be important because we need to work on that relationship with ourselves. Part of it is going to be that energy and self-talk, but more importantly, it's going to be that relationship. We have to really strengthen the relationship we have with ourselves this week, as we are going to be able to really get done a lot of stuff, release a lot of stuff, because we do have that solar eclipse. Fun fact, 2 weeks later, in the Beaver full moon, we do have a lunar eclipse. Now, for those who may not know the difference between a solar eclipse, and this is very minimal, guys, solar eclipse and lunar eclipse, a solar eclipse happens usually during the day, and it happens on a new moon. Now, this is a partial solar eclipse. So my friends and I who live in North America, we will not see the solar eclipse. My friends who are in the European continent, you will see it possibly depending on weather. And please do not look directly at a solar eclipse. It's not a good idea. Bad for the eyes, but you possibly can see it. Now, because it's partial does not mean it's like, oh, well, us in North America aren't going to get it. Not many of us have ever seen Mercury actually in retrograde, where it looks like it's going backwards. Doesn't mean it didn't impact us. So energy does not need to be seen, and usually is not. So know that, okay? All right, let's get into this week a little bit. What can my friends expect from the week of October 23rd to the 29th? Now, know, as we descend into this week, the energies are going to be really different because the veil is thinning. Next Monday, the veil is at its thinnest. So know that, my very sensitive friends, you may be really impacted. That can be part of that push and pull. So do be careful. Use your tools. Use your protections as that work for you, that you resonate with, because it's going to be needed, especially if it's something that is bothering you or you have anxiety around, because that anxiety will trigger more fear, more doubt, more gunk that we don't need. Now, I should say the only thing I love this deck. I love it to the ends of I love the artwork. It's beautiful. I don't love the fact that the font is like 2 points. My eyes are not that good, and I can't see that says the King of Wands. So I will be taking on and off my glasses. The King of Wands talks about that passion for life, that zest, that fulfillment. He owns it. In the original deck, the Rider-Waite deck, each king is sitting on his stone throne. Those are comfy. In different ways. This king, he's kind of half sitting forward. He's ready for that next adventure. That passion, that willpower, that drive, that fire. No matter how predominant that king is right now, know that fire is going to continue to burn brighter and brighter. You're going to have more fulfillment, more passion, more excitement if you are paying attention. We have a tendency to get caught up in the fear, the doubt, and we hyper-focus in on the future, those what ifs, or we get caught up in the past of those couldas, shouldas, wouldas. We need to be here and present for a bit. Paying attention to what's happening in the here and now. Paying attention to self. Paying attention to the messages that the high vibrational beings are sharing with us. All right, need glasses. It's a wand, I can tell you that just from the color. That's what I thought it was. The 10 of Wands. Maybe the camera will work. There we go. We feel like it's an uphill battle because, sure, it's easier said than done to pay attention to the here and now. Sure, I could be able to maybe spend some time and really connect in with self, but I feel exhausted. Taking that time and add it into something you're already doing. Like I said at the beginning of the session, take an intentional bath or shower. You can dump energies. It's not like you're adding an extra layer. You're just putting intention to it. So instead of you just going in and mindlessly taking a shower, you're like, okay, I'm going to intentionally get rid of that toxic buildup that I'm holding on to. I'm going to cleanse myself, body, mind, and soul. Make sure you open it up to support from any and all high vibrational beings so that they can help you with that. Then take your shower. Just let it go. You can visualize the gunk coming off. Just know that you can make this easier than harder. When we get to the point of, oh, but I don't know, I feel exhausted, how am I going to put that in my day? That's your ego. We want to fuel that passion. Well, if we're exhausted, we can't fuel anything. We actually will take away from this king. We'll take away from self. I think that's why the mirror came up. We have to be mindful of our energies. We also have to be mindful of what we're bleeding, because we can bleed energies. We have individuals, situations, and events that can take our energy without our knowledge or permission. So if you're finding that that energy is really, really low, my suggestion, try a cord cutting. You can do a generalized cord cutting to help release any of those cords that do have that toxic bleed, if you will. I have a meditation in my Archangel playlist where I worked with Archangel Michael and Archangel Raphael in a generalized cord cutting. So if you're new here, welcome. On my channel, I give you guys the guidance, but more importantly, I give you guys tools, tangible things that you can do to support you. So I've got like 3 meditative playlists. I've got mindfulness playlists. I've got healing playlists. They are all guided, all supported. They are free. I'm not a monetized channel at this point in time. So you can visit and revisit as much as you want. So that cord cutting is a fantastic meditation. I want to say it's like 20 or 32 minutes or something like that. It's an easy way to help you gain control of your energies. Keep in mind, though, the individuals, if it's a person that's taking your energy, they will contact you. Oh, I had an inkling to call you. That's because all of a sudden, subconsciously, they're no longer getting your energy. And they're like, well, that's not good. I should really reach out and say hi. They'll reattach the cord. So if there's people you haven't connected in with some time who do that, what I would suggest is after you have their phone call, their text, or whatever that connection may be, just ask Archangel Michael to cut that cord. See what happens. Because they have to have the connection to maintain that energy draw. But if you sever that connection afterwards, it's great. Or if you know you're going to see somebody where you have a suspicion that that's why they're connecting in, or they happen to be one of those energetical vampires, my suggestion, put in that energy blocker. So you can do a protection meditation, or you can add in that added element of protection, carrying something like selenite, which is a white crystal. You can get selenite. Let's see what my drawer of wonders. Like I have a selenite ball, which is probably not going to come up very well. And selenite is very fibrous. This is a polished selenite, so it doesn't have the flaky feel. Comes in strips. If you have the ones and it's hard to carry, you could also, here we go. Labradorite. It's a fantastic protection. Use what crystals make sense to you. But those two are very positive, very protective crystals. And they can help because we need to take control of where our energies are so we can get the most done. We can enjoy this time. We don't feel exhausted. And it's not just about getting work done, but enjoy the season because it's beautiful outside. Fall, the colors, the smells, the decorations, the fun. So let's go into the beginning of the week. What does the beginning week have in store for my friends? So know that it's it's not always just our energies from outside that can impact us, but it can be stuff that we're dealing with on a regular. And yes, you can have them like people that you say work with or family members or friends who are very much that energy needer, sucker, vampire. You can use tools to support you in making sure you stay in control of your energies so that you have your energies to do what you want to, what you need to do. The Six of Coins. This is also known as the Six of Pentacles. It's just a gorgeous card. So Six of Pentacles talks about that balance because, well, a six is always about balance in tarot or oracle. But more importantly, the Six of Coins, the Six of Pentacles, talks specifically about what I just rambled on about for the last 5 minutes. You need to know where your energies are. You need to keep that in balance and check so you can get what you need done. The Ten of Swords talks about that pain, talks about that heartache. Swords are all about knowledge, right? It's the card itself talks about that knowledge. This is knowledge that we're harboring because as a human, we attach to emotion, which is what we naturally do. And because it has to deal with fear or sadness, it's bringing us to our knees because we're not able to use that. The situations and events that bring us happiness and joy that are fun and we bring a smile to our face, we're able to gain fuel from that. It inspires us. We feel good. These are situations that we need to learn from, but we can't because we're caught up in the fear and the pain. Part of what we're looking at with this king is being able to reduce some of this. I said at the beginning of this week, we have Scorpio coming in. We have the solar eclipse new moon. And this is what the new moon is going to help you with. Getting rid of that pain, or at least some of it. Getting rid of some of that fear, that low vibrational toxic energy. It's something we need to do. It's going to be a game changer and it's going to shift things. So we've got multiple tens here. 10 of Wands, 10 of Swords. Both are hard to deal with, but know that the universe is telling you that you're on the right track. The angels say in multiple tens that, yeah, it might be hard, but to keep going. If the 1 and the 0, the beginning and that infinite cycle. So keep going. You're on the right track. All right. What about the middle of the week? What can my friends expect from the middle of the week? So this is about a time where we're dealing with, okay, so Scorpio, we're in, we got the jive going, the new moon has kind of settled, and we're starting to feel the veil really come in. I know that I've had clients and different students come in and tell me that, you know what, I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it more this year than I did last. And they're talking about that veil thinning. So know that the veil it's been thinning since people have really felt it since the 15th. It's kind of the flagship point that people start to feel it. Well, we're getting in within days of Halloween, of Samhain, All Saints Day, whatever you want to call it. The Chariot, the 7th card in the Major Arcana. So now we're looking at not so much shifting gears as what we want to do is start to take the reins. Very much connected into the King of Wands because we're dealing again with that willpower, that drive. Like I said, this is the king that's ready for that adventure. We have this 10 here. Like I said, it's going to be a game changer. The more we're able to release and get rid of that heaviness, that funk that is keeping us weighed down, the more we're going to be like, yeah, let's get up and go. Keeping things in perspective. The Chariot is not usually one that is like going helter-skelter, like go, go, go. In the original card, it's a stone chariot with two steeds that are kind of like, yeah, I'm going to work with him, but I don't really like him, but okay, I will move forward. So know that if you want that speed to be at a speed that is in accordance to what you feel comfortable with, if you start to add in more fear and doubt, well, you're slowing yourself down. Slow and steady is usually the way I suggest, because you're more able to maintain that stability. Because let's be honest, you go too quick, not only are you going to miss stuff, but your ego will really stumble you. Midas touch himself, the King of Coins. So we have that movement forward. Breaking down some of this, we're going to be able to become more aware of the abundance that we have naturally in our lives, but we're also going to be able to cultivate more because we're able to shift out of this funk, out of this low vibration, into something that is more creative, more passion-based, more fulfilling. And Midas is here to show you that it's easy and fun. So know that in the middle of the week, especially as we dump the crap, we're going to be able to have the energy, the vitality, the desire to not only move forward, but to see that abundance. Now, we do have multiple kings here. We have the King of Coins or Pentacles, and we have the King of Wands. Kings are the 14th card in the Minor Arcana. Multiple 14s, though, in angel messages say you need to be mindful of the energies that you put out. They're going to come back in. Going back to that mirror. We know that this is going to be important. I said that at the very beginning. I said that people will reflect the energies that we have within. Well, we already know that the law of karma will reflect anything that we put out right back at us. So the kings are telling us to be very, very mindful of that energy. I love this card. This is the best Fool. I just think it's fun. It's fabulous. So the Fool is a 0 card in the Major Arcana. The middle of the week is literally a game changer because these are major events. We need to be a little bit more carefree, not careless, but carefree, enjoying this time, this space. Like I said, this is a beautiful time of year. We just don't always have time to acknowledge it and enjoy it. So the middle of the week, take that time. Go for that walk. Play in the leaves. Have some fun. Because not only will that shift your vibration, but right then and there, you can and will tap in to both the King of Wands and the King of Pentacles. Because you're getting out of your way, you're getting out of the crap, and you're enjoying yourself, bringing in that natural joy and stability. Because of course, Midas touch, we've got that pentacle, reminding us the more stable we are, the more we're going to see that movement occur. Let's head off to the end of the week. What can my friends expect from the end of the week? Now, like I said, this is really where you're going to feel that veil starting to come forward. Please be careful. You don't want to be calling in crap you don't want to deal with, because you start to call in something low vibrational. They're not as forgiving. They don't leave as easy as they came in. So I'm not a big proponent of Ouija boards. I don't find that they've got the stability or support or protection, and are more likely to call low vibration than high. If you're looking to channel past on loved ones, or start working with your channeling and clairs, I do have a meditation, well, actually 3 meditations I brought out in October of 2022, or sorry, 2020, so 2020, where it is an introduction to connecting and channeling. Easy ways to start working with individuals and beings that are with you all the time. The biggest gripe I hear from students and clients around working with their clairs is that whoever they tried to channel, well, nothing happened. And then when I ask who, they're like, oh, I tried to channel my grandma. And I'm like, okay. There's a lot of challenge with channeling passed on loved ones, because if they've passed on in, say, the last 6 months-ish, even a year, they may not be ready or able to connect in. Or if they passed on, say, 5-6 years ago, they may have already been reincarnated. Both situations are very, very common. And then also we have the added benefit as they are not omnipresent. So they can only be with one person. If they happen to be with another family member, or busy doing something else with a high vibrational being, or doing something that they wanted to do, well, you're not going to get them. The same is said with, like, same problem with ascended masters. People are like, I tried to channel Jesus and he didn't come. Dude's busy. Right now, he's in the Ukraine. Like, you kind of have to think it through. What did they do, and why is it that you wanted to channel them? And could they be busy? Because again, ascended masters are not omnipresent. There's very few beings that are able to be omnipresent. Archangels are one of them. Gods, goddesses are another. And also know that the channeling stuff that I suggested in my meditations, you're channeling either your guides or your guardian angel, and they don't leave you. So you're starting off with something that is kind of present for you. So that's usually a good start. If all fails, start with them. We have the Knight of Swords. We do need to use our head. We need to be mindful. We need to be very protective of ourselves, because no matter what we're starting to do, whether we want to do it intentionally or not, if these energies are bothering us, we need to be using our head, using the protections, calling in the supports we need. If this is a time that really activates you, or you're going to be working with channeling, I always recommend that Archangel Michael is called in first to kind of vet whatever you're working with. Are they there for your greatest good? Are they high vibrational? If they're not high vibrational, it's not a good idea, because low vibration, like I said, easy to come in, not so easy to get rid of. So I always double check, and I've been channeling for a very long time. So making sure that you've got that stability and that support, it will really help you have, well, that foundation, because it's important. This beautiful card is the Queen of Cups, or sorry, the Queen of Coins. The Queen of Pentacles or coins, of course, the consort to the king there. We're looking at that foundational, grounded stability, that nurture, that care. Like I said, part of this week will be about that relationship with self. At the end of the week, we need to protect ourselves. We also need to care and nurture for ourselves. These two tens have been, well, hard. They've kicked us in the hiney. So know that we have to be mindful of that. What do you need to make you feel better and stronger? Schedule that in. Yeah, it might be a little bit of extra added on. However, it's something that you should enjoy and feel good about doing. It doesn't have to be a long period of time. It doesn't have to be a long extended thing or hard. It should be something that fills you with joy, with energy, and you feel good afterwards. Also, we have a very fertile, creative ending to our week. We've got the King and Queen of Pentacles. The pair of them, of course, we're looking at fertility. Can, yes, mean babies, but it can more importantly mean creating a new beginning. It can mean creation of creativity, creation of solutions. Fertility does not always mean babies. It can. So if that's something you're looking for, it's time to try. A big point with that, though, again, don't overthink it. It needs to be something very natural and very, again, just joy and happiness, right? You overthink it, it is I don't know how many times I've told people you need to relax, and you know what, it will happen. And they're like, no, it won't, no, it won't. And then they're like, I'm just going on vacation. We're not going to do this anymore. And what happens? They get pregnant on vacation. Stupid psychic. All right. So let's go on to what will support my friends in getting the most out of this week. And the most joy and, well, creation, I guess. And what I just said about getting out of your head and stop overthinking it, that's not necessarily a psychic thing. That's medical advice. Because people get so worked up. Blood pressure rises, not in a good way. And your system doesn't perform properly. Mountain. Two things here. Sometimes, and happens a lot, we make a mountain out of a molehill. Is the challenge as challenging as we think? And if it is, that's when that creativity is going to be needed the most. Additionally, the more grounded and stable we are, because mountains can be pretty darn stable, the more we're going to be able to get that creativity. We're going to get that movement. So the mountain, really check in. Use that critical thinking. Remember, we've got that knight. He also talks about movement, but using our head. Because the more we're able to critically think, using that frontal cortex, using our intuitional skills. We were never taught or shunned when we use our clear thinking, or what's called clairordinance. Clear thinking. So, I love it. Shell. I said that intuition. Anytime you see things like water or shells, you're looking at intuitional energy. You're also looking at emotion. So 2 pieces. 1, this is a great time to play with our intuition. Ask your support team, your high vibrational support team, to talk to you and communicate with you in another way. Maybe using our clear audience, so our clear hearing or our clairvoyance. Is that something you want to try? Ask them. You can get what's called clairsalience, which is clear smelling. A lot of people get that when they're working with like passed on loved ones. They'll smell their grandfather's like cigars, or they'll taste their grandma's cooking, that kind of thing. Ask. It's amazing what you'll get when you use your words and ask. Additionally, do check into that emotion. Like I said, we've got a lot of energies at play. Lots of feeling here. We become more reactive when we're in an emotional state. So make sure that we're not functioning from that chaotic emotion, because that's not going to help you. If it's getting heavy, dump it. Take that deep breath, because when we're in reactive mode, we're taking those shallow, panty breaths. We're not taking deep breaths. We're not getting enough oxygen to our brain to be able to use our frontal cortex. Offering. So at the beginning, I said, pay attention to detail. Be present here. There's going to be offerings to you that you need to be present for. And what's more, we shouldn't forget that this is a time to celebrate our passed on loved ones. That's part of what this is talking about this time of year. So whether you leave a physical offering or even just that emotional love, offer that to your passed on loved ones. Know that they can hear you, as you are a lower vibration than them. You may not be able to hear them, they can hear you. So take that time, think about them, have a smile and a laugh, because that high vibration supports them. I hope that this helped you to find out how you can explore this week to your utmost and enjoy this time. I do want to thank you for joining me. And if you did like this session, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, as it does help me be found on the sea of YouTube. More importantly for you though, don't forget to subscribe and hit that little red bell. As you've heard, I've got lots coming forward. You don't want to miss any of it. So the best way to stay connected, of course, is through subscription. Additionally, if you want an added layer of support, I do have a Ko-fi and Patreon page. You can go check them out. I've put links below. Again, I want to thank you for joining me, and I hope this helped you to better understand what's coming forward. Until tomorrow, my friends.